Hi, I'm going to open up my Vernier Graphical Analysis. I'm going to tell it I want manual entry. And the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is put a title on this. So I'm going to tell it Save As. And I'm actually going to go ahead and use our lab bouncing ball data. From last week. Okay. And so now it definitely says it's my bouncing ball. So I'm going to come over and I'm going to change the name of my first data set, and I'm going to call this my tennis ball on tile. And then I am going to tell the app that my x-axis was my drop height in centimeters, and my y was the bounce height. And then I'm going to go ahead and say we dropped from 100 centimeters, 120 centimeters, 150 centimeters. It bounced back at 51.7, 67.0, and 77.3. So there is my data set. Now, I also have another data set that I want to go ahead and use. So we are going to add a new data set. And this data set is going to be for my stress ball. On tile. Okay. And that data was still 100, 120, 150, so that was my drop heights. And then my bounce heights were 45.7, 53.0, and then I had 66.3. Okay. So I can come down into here and I can do some graph options. I can add a title, which is going to be bounce height versus drop height. I want it to start at 0 and I want it to go all the way up to 200 on the x-axis. I want to start at 0 and I want it to go to 100 on the y-axis. So you can see here that I've got my drop height, I've got my bounce height, I've got the scale the way I want it, I've got a title, but we're missing my other data set. So I click on where it says bounce height and I go ahead and I turn on the tennis ball. Okay, and you'll notice when it's done that, it's gone ahead and upset the scale again. So I am going to go back and I'm just going to go ahead and say I want it from 0 to 200. I want it from 0 to 100. And so now I've got my graph, got my points plotted. Then I can go ahead and I can apply a curve. And it's asking me, do I want the linear, which is a straight line. If I click on here, there's all the different types of lines you can have, but this is definitely linear. So I can go ahead and I can press click apply. So the equation for my blue line is going to be y equals 0.4145x plus 3.882, and we already discussed that and why the intercept was this. Okay, so that's how you use Vernier Graphical Analysis.